Hello, Dihessa here. I wanted to share a quick story with you here that you may relate to, that may also have happened to you in the past, and especially if you are an entrepreneur, a coach, a healer, or you are even into spirituality, your work is all around spirituality. This is going to I hope inspire you a ton. Right? So the story, this is happening years ago, and it's about how I was shamed by some of my spiritual friends, and the reason why this happened and what really it meant about me when I think about it now, right? So the story happened, this really event happened years ago. I just said that, and it happened when I was actually going to a retreat with some of my friends. And obviously if we are going into a retreat, that's because they themselves also, they value that spiritual connection, and clearly that is something that I value in my life as well, right? So we were going to this spiritual retreat, and we were going to carpool to the retreat center, and we carpooled into the retreat center, and the retreat went absolutely beautifully. And this particular event happened on our way back, right? So I was the one who rented the car, and we were all carpooling back when I was driving. And at the time I was listening, I had the book Think and Grow Rich on audio. And so I had it on audio so that when I'm traveling, right, like from one place to another, I could be listening to, I'm sure you do the same thing possibly as well. So when I'm traveling, I can listen to it. When I'm, even in the plane or like on the road, I can listen to it. That really helped me. Or still helps me sometimes when I'm listening to audiobook to go through books faster, right? And so I was so excited. We had just come out of this retreat where our energies were amped up, and I was like, it was almost the beginning of my coaching business, and I was really wanting to hone in into like money and really create a relationship with money and all. I want even just learn about money and learn about allowing money into my realm and allowing money into my business. So I was really excited about listening to the tape. And then since I was the one who was driving, I asked everybody who was in the car if it was okay for them that I play the book, the audio book, Think and Grow Rich, right? So now, in all fairness, right, even though I received the coldest reception to this idea, in all fairness, like now that I think about it, I'm not 100% sure that they were judging me per se, but it may just have been my perception of the event itself. It's safe to say the idea wasn't well received. I even felt like I received side eyes and all these things around this topic, and some kind of cold treatment around this topic. It was almost like we just came out of the spirituality thing. We should only care about spirituality. We shouldn't care about money and all these things. So at least that's the vibe that I got about it around this topic, right? What I know is that the car became so quiet at the moment I started talking about money, right? And so there are 2 points to this, right? The one point is how much, like how we look at money, how in general money is looked at, how much it can affect that, right? And there's also the point of like, if that happened today, for example, if that same event happened today, it wouldn't do jack to me. It wouldn't feel like anything at this moment. It will just have felt like, oh well, that's where they are, they don't care about it, and that's okay. The fact of the matter is, at that time I felt shame around it. I felt like, and I had this also sense of, I want to belong so much that perhaps I'm doing the wrong thing by listening to the book Think and Grow Rich, or but perhaps I'm thinking about the wrong things here. Should I drop this whole money thing because I care so much about belonging? basically at that time, like there were 4 of us in the car, and all of a sudden I felt isolated. I felt like I was all alone, and then there were the 3 of them, right? There's a reason I'm sharing this with you. If I had still kept that sense of, and again, like these kind of things, like when I think about it and when I thought about it later down the road, you can even like we absorb this all the way into our bones, into our bodies. Actually, every time I thought about money, every time I started making offers, that same feeling came into my body, that same sensation came into my body, because I related all these facts together. Because to me, like one of the most important thing at the time was being able to belong. And if a group didn't agree with me, then perhaps, especially a group that matters to me, because it was all about spirituality, then perhaps I'm doing something wrong. Perhaps I shouldn't, right? And I dragged that in my business. That really like reflected in, even whenever I'll be sharing an offer, like there was a certain level of shame around it. Can you guess what happened? Of course I wouldn't make sales. Of course it was harder to make sales, right? And it was really this sense of, oh, this group they don't believe it's a good idea to talk about money, think about money, make offers, blah blah blah, all these things. Then because I want to belong so much, then perhaps I shouldn't do it, right? What I decided at the time, like that really shifted everything for me, and I can really bring this back to energy always, right? So for example, how I look at it for now at the moment is when we are seeking, right? And anytime we just seeking, we are basically keeping ourselves from doing one thing or another, just from the perspective of the fear that people won't like, so the fear that we won't belong in anymore, the fear that we'll be rejected, we won't be accepted. Really, like what I have now brought it back to is it's literally all about energy, right? So what that means is that I'm seeking other people's energy, I'm wanting other people's energy, right? And I'm willing to sacrifice myself, I'm willing to sacrifice what I want, just for the sake of receiving other people's acceptance and receiving other people's energy, right? And so once basically, like I've talked about this so many times, like when it comes back to energy, what that really has to do also is when we overthinking like that, we have too much energy in our head, right? And so for me, the more, like I call it, I descended into my core, the more I descend into my this is all about your energetic system. The more I descended into my core, the less it wasn't like I didn't care about those humans. I still, like, I'm in contact with them, I love them dearly, but now rather I can really literally accept that they may not necessarily agree with the way that I live my life, the way that I run my business, the way that all these other things. I can still care about them and be okay with the fact that they may not necessarily accept how I run my business. And that's literally how I started doing it. That's how I run my business now. And that is really what has led me to now increasing my offers, or increasing the pricing on my programs without even blinking, right? Because it's like I really started, not only did I now really start creating because you can look at it from 2 parts, like the relationship with money and then the relationship with yourself, and also a third part is our relationship with others. It's so mingled up, oh my God, so tightly coiled together, right? And so once I actually started shifting a few things, starting with my energy, and then really changing, like there are certain beliefs that I really needed to change, which once they changed, everything really started falling into place, to the point where I really went from earning less than maybe 5K months in my business, all the way to jumping to 10K, 20K, and all the way up to 40, 50K in sales in my business in 1 month, right? These are the things. It wasn't because I didn't know the strategy. It was literally because, I had such a muddy relationship with money that I wasn't allowing money. And it actually shows. If you are honest with yourself, and if you are observing yourself, you can look at how is it feeling in my body when I'm making offers? How is it feeling in my body when I'm asking for the money? How is it feeling? Like, what kind of boundaries do I have around money? Am I willing to XYZ? Or like, am I sacrificing? Like, all these things, you can look at it. You can look at it and you can feel it in your body. This is why for me, like, a lot of my work, even like if you, like, for example, in Unity program, when you join Unity program, you have direct, like, instant access. The very first thing you have access to is called sacred currency. Sacred currency, it is my money work thing. It's all about, it's not just about the mind, it's about some of the beliefs, but also the fact that, like, this experience I was sharing with you, literally my whole body absorbed it, right? And so through your body as well, right? And I'm not about removing blocks, I'm not about any of that, but through your body, simply because, like, these events, even though they happened in the past, they still run our world, right? So how can you actually break through this is through your body, because your body can only be in the present moment, ever. Your body can never be in the past. Your body can never be in the future. Your body can only be in the present moment. Then it brings you back into the present moment. Through your body, you can actually break through this and really reach new heights in income in your business, in impact in your business, and even in your general life. This is what I do all the time. This is what Unity is. This is what I have utilized over and over again to continuously and gradually grow my business, grow my income, right? And so if you are here and if you're seeing this video, it's probably because you are considering joining Unity. And if that is the case, this is just one way I can tell you some of the things that you are going to get access to when you do join Unity. It is not just about talk. You probably know that about this by now. It is super powerful and it creates true growth in your life and also in your business. Even today we had a call. We had a call, a Unity call earlier today, and also after that, anyways, one of the ladies in Unity was celebrating. There's so many celebrations that we have that was celebrating her wins in her business. She is a book writer, and all these things that are happening with her simply because she shifted her energy, and her energy really leads her into trusting her moves and also trusting in the allowing, really getting in the space of allowing herself to receive the things that she is asking for in business. And this is what Unity is all about, and I cannot wait to welcome you in it. I cannot wait to really be a witness to what happens for you within the 6 months that you are in it. I will talk to you soon. Bye.